Hey everybody, happy Thursday. I am Kimberly Veely for those of you who don't know me, and I wanted to say thank you so much for jumping on live with me here on Facebook. And for those watching the rebroadcast, thank you for spending your time to watch it. And just so you know, you can still comment below and interact, so I'd love to get your feedback and just your thoughts. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about fears and hesitations, which basically boil down to excuses. And I've got one of my great longtime friends here with me, and she has some exciting goals. And so we have a baby in the background, of course. So she is going to share some of her fears and hesitations that we all face, we all have, and how we can kind of walk through it. So this is my friend Marie. Come get in the window. Hi. This is my friend Marie. And she and I actually went to design school together, and one little known fact about me is that I went to school and have a degree in interior design, which is how I met her. And she's an interior designer, and she is eternally 27 in my mind, but in reality this year she is turning, actually next month, she is going to be turning 40. Wow. And so one thing that, which I just always picture her as like, she was 27 when I met her.
I'll take it.
I was 18, so she always thinks of me as an 18-year-old, which I'm not. I'm in my 30s. But one thing I think is really cool that she's doing for her 40th is she is setting a goal to do
40 things that I've never done in my 40 years. So big or small, it doesn't mean that, I have to go jet setting and go to 40 different countries, or
you don't have to like skydive or like walk across like a bridge thousands of feet in the air. But 40 things she's never done, which I think is so cool. And like one, she told me that, I'll share that, is just as simple as this, is she's never had a passport. And so she's going to get a passport this year. So I think that's so cool.
It's huge for me.
Yes. So then she could use it, which is cool too. But one of the things that she has, that is a goal she has that has to do with me and where I can step in and help her, as she has a goal to lose 40 pounds in her 40th year. So a little bit of backstory of why she has 40 pounds to lose is she is an entrepreneur, and her business is her baby, so she has poured everything into that. And as you know, whether you are an entrepreneur or, and your business is your baby. Yes, that's where I was going. You put yourself on the back burner, and you tend to pour everything into that. Your phone's ringing. To your relationship. We are live.
We are entrepreneurs.
So she's got a client calling her. So, I don't know how to turn your phone off. I thought I did. So as she goes to lose 40 pounds, we want to talk a little bit about fears and hesitations, which she, as we were kind of like, what do we want to talk about? I go, fears and hesitations, and she goes, AKA excuses, which is so true, right? We allow our fears and, our concerns and our worries really are cover-ups for excuses of why we don't want to do something, or maybe why we are truly afraid to do something, but it's still an excuse.
Right.
Because most likely, you're not going to die from that thing that you are making an excuse for. It's just you are afraid you won't get the outcome you want. Sometimes we're afraid we really will get the outcome we want, and we don't know how we're going to feel about that once that happens. We're afraid of the time it might take, the effort. Do we really have within us what it's going to take? So if you're on live, share some of your fears and hesitations about whatever. I would love to hear them, because we've all got them. But so one of the fears, the hesitations that Marie has in this goal of losing 40 pounds would be, what would the first one be?
Well, we've talked about it, and sweetheart, she has listened to all of my excuses and just waited for me to be ready. So that's the thing too. You have to be ready.
Right.
Because I held on to those excuses like it was my life.
Like a life jacket.
And it was a legitimate reason for me not to be healthy. And a little reality check, for me not to be healthy means it jeopardizes everything I've worked so hard for. Yeah. So, one
True.
of my,
Great point.
Yeah, it really is. So
what's the point of working hard for something if you sacrifice your health and you can't enjoy it, or you lose that thing because of your health?
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
So for me, a lot of the excuses you've heard is I have poor eating habits, and that doesn't mean I do not go to fast food places. I don't grab burgers. My problem is I work so much. I actually do not eat enough, which is odd to hear that I've gained weight because I don't eat enough. You know, some people would think, oh, that I don't eat enough, therefore you're going to be emaciated, you're going to be skinny, you're going to be thin. My metabolism has shut down. So basically my body is in starvation mode. So I have to learn to eat, not just properly, but when, you know, so.
Yes, you need to learn how much you should be eating.
Right.
And how often.
Right.
And to not be starving. And the thing is that she shared with me when she does eat, it's not till the end of the day, when her workday's done, she goes home, she's exhausted, she's famished, she still chooses healthy food. It's just that her body's now going, this is all I'm going to get, and I'm going to like take it all, and I'm going to just store it, and that's that. Because then it knows the next day, she's going to go another 20 hours until she eats again.
Right.
So nutrition is a huge thing. I think people use it as an excuse because she has her habit, right? She knows this is her habit. This is what's comfortable. Frank, so sorry, my dog's barking. Normally we're a little better set up than this, but it's live.
My friends pop by.
We're like, this is a great thing to talk about. But anyway, so nutrition is a huge excuse. And I think we all think we're doing a lot better than we really are, but when you start tracking it, you know, so for Marie, it's going to be about planning. She actually needs to create a plan of what she's going to eat, to figure out what does her body need, and then to start planning ahead. And like what I do personally, I make a spreadsheet, or like in my my day planner, I write out our meals for like usually our dinners, and I sometimes do even go as far as to write like my breakfast, my lunch, and my snacks, so that I don't have to think about it. Like those days where I'm working and I'm busy, I know what to expect, and I'm not famished like she is, which I do have every now and then. But then you make choices based off of that, you know, extreme hunger. So planning is huge, and that's one thing that we've talked about that, you know, is going to help her a lot. The next thing,
well, the planning in line with that is timing to make the time to work out, make the time to plan those meals. So I really need to treat my fitness as a business in the sense I would schedule my day for my clients. I have to schedule my day for a workout, for planning my meals, for my shopping. So yeah, so if I have it listed out like I would if I'm going to see a client, I'm going to make it to my client. If my client is the treadmill, I will make it to that treadmill.
What's funny is most people who are in good health and fitness and who are successful in business, that's exactly what they do. They treat their workouts like an appointment that they wouldn't miss, like a business appointment that they wouldn't turn down, or a doctor's appointment that they're not going to miss. So planning that into your day, because if you start off your day and you think like, oh yeah, I'm going to work out later, well, life happens, right? And so the day comes and suddenly a curveball comes your way, and, you know, a friend stops by or whatever. And if you had, well, I'll work out later this afternoon, and something comes up, there went your workout. So there's a day. And then the next day that can happen again. And before you know it, days, weeks, months, years go by, and you're like, I still haven't really gotten around to that. But when you plan it out and you put it on your calendar, that's huge. So for planning, definitely nutrition and the time to work out, because she's a worker and she's a go, so she'll put everything into her business, which means she's not taking care of her health, she's not working out, you know, and that can even take away from relationships, everything. So I want, one more excuse that you have.
Well,
sorry, baby.
Well, one of my excuses is the right workout plan, because I have injuries that I've had for 20 years. I've been injured longer in my life than since I was injured. So,
and injuries are another thing. You know, people think I have a bad hip, I have a bad back, I can't work out. And then they just kind of leave it at that and let it be an excuse. But if you really look into finding something, you know, and don't let that be an excuse, you'll find something that works for you. Whether it be just start walking. You don't have to run. It doesn't have to be, you know, that intense, but it's just about moving. And so, you know, we've talked about a program that Marie has and is going to start. And there's a modifier in this program. So there's somebody who gives you the option to have low impact, to not be jumping when somebody's doing jumping jacks or, you know, squat and jumps. There's an option for those who have a bad knee or who have a bad back, or, you know, are recovering from something and can't do those intense high impact workouts. So even with her and having multiple injuries, the injuries that she has, and long-term injuries that are resulted from a car accident, there's options for her. So she's learned to not let that be an excuse, but that you can find something that works, find something you enjoy. And another excuse people have is they think, I don't like exercise, and they use that as an excuse to just not exercise. But you just haven't found the right type of exercise. So exercise doesn't mean you have to run, or you have to lift weights, or you have to do CrossFit, or whatever it is. Exercise means you're getting your body moving, you're getting your heart pumping, you're challenging your muscles, you're just challenging your body to become stronger and to have better endurance. So thank you for sharing those. We were talking about excuses and hesitations, or no, fears and hesitations, which are excuses. And I think my baby's ready for me to be done. But I would love to hear from you guys what excuses you have, and if you've overcome them, how did you overcome them? And if you haven't yet, share it, and let's put a plan together to figure out a way that you can.
Good way to help.
Well, thank you. But if you really have a goal, just put those excuses aside and go for it, because you'll be so much better for it. So you guys have a great rest of your evening. And thank you so much, Marie, for jumping on with me. And I will talk to you guys later. And please feel free to share this if you think that it will be helpful for somebody who you know is in the same boat, possibly as Marie too. So, all right, guys, we'll see you later. Bye.